I had no real interest in doing an update for this cardboard no-till, no-dig garden that I did in the back here, and I've already done one update for it, but people have been asking and they have been wanting to know what's been going on with this garden here. So we're going to be doing a quick update of the no-till, no-dig cardboard garden, and I won't be keeping you all very long at all. The rain is about to burst down on us, so let's see how far we get. Let's get going. Hello everyone, thank you all so much for joining in. This is Dylan from the Trinidad channel, and I'm so happy that you made it for this video. As I said, I was not planning at all to film this garden update, but people have been asking for it, so I wanted to make sure that I got it done so that you wouldn't have to ask for it anymore. I really wanted to wait until I had something like really nice to show you all. Like I have some stuff here, but like it's it's in the process. It's coming, but it's coming, right? So we are just going to look at what we have. In my last update on this garden bed here, this no-till, no-dig garden bed. Also, I've been calling it a cardboard bed because I just laid down cardboard on some rock hard dirt, put some soil on top of it, and that's what we have this little garden here growing in. Just that 2-inch, 3-inch layer of soil, to be honest. And I'll put a link for the original video where I set up this garden bed, and also a link for the update, the first update that I did, where I showed you all just the first set of plants that I had here. Since that update, the only thing that's really changed is that well, the watermelon that I had showed you all, it's started to take off. I had a string bean over there. I can't remember the name at all. It's a bush bean, and I have you saw my sunflower, you saw the watermelon, the lettuce, the other string bean, the actual string bean is still here, and these are all just going into different stages of their life. The sunflower has come and mostly is gone. This is a branching sunflower, so it has produced flowers on most of the different branches where you generally get a bloom, and now it's on the way out. It's been some time. So that's kind of how it goes, because you have different layers of plants. You have those that are a bit shorter, such as the sunflowers that grow really, really fast. Sunflower growing guide is right up here. Grow really, really fast, but they also die fast because they grow really fast. So that's just part of the game over there. I'll bring you all closer so that you can see how some of the plants are doing. As I said, the watermelon has been taken off. To be honest, I was a little bit apprehensive about showing the watermelon because watermelon can be tricky. It's not there's a reason why watermelon farmers generally, they call a fair price for their products, for their crops, because they have to have a lot of wisdom. They need to have the experience to really get a good watermelon crop. So it's definitely not a beginner crop. Watermelon is not one of those plant it and forget it kind of crops. If you're lucky to do that, then you're just lucky. But in general, you do have to have some skill with watermelon. I'm still very much learning the art of growing watermelon, but I am trying my best. Over here you can see that the vine. So last time we did this video, I think that the vine had really just been in this area over here, but since then the watermelon vine has taken over, has come over here. Now the vine is fairly fragile, so it doesn't take over like from my last sweet potato harvest. I think the last one I showed you all where we just took our sweet potatoes from this area here. I didn't plant anything back, so this is just all sweet potato vines. I just left it, literally. I know it's going to be hard to believe. I just left the vines and they spring back up for themselves, and they're going to go looking for little spaces to bury themselves and create tubers. Not the most efficient way to grow sweet potatoes, of course, but you all know the kind of rubble that I'm working with. So to be honest, just for my peace of mind, I don't stress about it. If I come back here in about 4 or 5 months, I get some sweet potatoes, I'll be happy. If I don't get anything, at least I had a bit of ground cover, because you can see that the weeds and whatnot, they grow up where there isn't sweet potato vines. But where you do have sweet potato vines, you have a really good ground cover. They're going to outcompete all of this weed over here. So that's secondary reason for having sweet potatoes. But coming back to the watermelon, just give you a little quick view of the one watermelon flower that's germinated. So what I mean by that, so with your cucurbits, that is your pumpkin, your cucumber, your squash, your zucchini, your watermelon, they have both male and female flowers. They're not like a tomato, because a tomato pepper, they have one flower, and in that one flower you have male and female parts. In the cucurbit family, they have one male flower that has only male parts, female flower has only female parts, and you need to have insects, pollination, where the insects will go into a male flower. They will carry pollen from the male flower into the female flower, and that's how you get pollination to take place. So with something like cucumbers and watermelon, you get generally better pollination if you hand pollinate, which is that you take a flower like a, let me see if I get okay, let me see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if you get one of these, it's a male flower. Basically, it's just the flower of the cucumber of the watermelon, and there is nothing underneath it, right? Just a stem. So that is a male one. Let me show you all a female one that I can just pull out because it did not get pollinated. Up, yeah. So this is a female flower of a watermelon, right? At the very top here, this dry bit here was the flower, and you see that there is a tiny little watermelon on it. But this wasn't pollinated, so it's not really a watermelon just yet. It's just the flower, and because this wasn't pollinated, or for whatever reason, maybe it got too much wet, or that can happen as well. This didn't get pollinated, so that is how that works with cucurbits. All the vegetables in that family. So again, that's your cucumbers, your pumpkin, your squash, your zucchini, and your watermelon. Now I do have one that was pollinated, and I'm going to show you all that one watermelon. It's very much like not far along, so it's still a little baby. I'll show you all. Just give me a second. Okay, so I do have one here that was pollinated. Oh, I have it in this bag so that it can get a bit more protection from insects. Right, so inside there you can see a baby watermelon. Right, so I'm hoping that this one comes to maturity. You can see the vine and everything starts to thicken up once it's pollinated. The plant knows it's no longer dealing with flowers, and now it has to take care of fruit, which is a different stage of the plant. It's going to need to pull more nutrients now to bring that fruit to maturity. The challenge these days with the watermelon is that we're in the crop time. This is the end of coming on to the end of January, and it's so hot that I find myself watering this 2 times a day. And to be honest, if I was home during the week, I'd probably water it a third time, because I watered this morning full drench, and it looks so dry. There's even a bit of a mulch on there to help with the moisture situation, and still it's just so dry so fast. And with watermelon, with a lot of crops, watermelon included, if you don't keep it nice and moist, evenly moist, you could end up with things like blossom and rot, which is not a good situation. It's where your watermelon gets a little black spot on it. Doesn't spoil the entire fruit, but it does spoil wherever that black spot is on. So moving on from that, so you all saw I showed you all the sunflowers, right? Let me just show you all. So basically, when the head gets like this, if you take this off, right, you see inside here it's fairly dry. I don't worry about the ants, but inside here, okay, do have to worry about the ants because they're biting me. Just show you really quickly. I'll clean this up after. So inside here is where you get your seeds that you can use to then plant your sunflowers. And I'm going to be very careful to label this sunflower seed, because it's a yellow sunflower and I always mix up, and I'm growing and I don't know if I'm growing yellow or orange, because those are the two colors that I've had of sunflowers in the garden here. Just very quickly moving on, I don't want to keep you all very long. I know you're very busy people. This is the string bean. I was a bit confused because they told me that this was meant to be a bush string bean, which, I mean, bush just means it will sprawl all along. I saw it starting to flower, like over there. That's a purple flower. Yeah, you're going to see the weeds on the side here. That's one of the biggest challenges, just kind of keeping the weeds down. Time is always the issue that kind of stops that from happening. But yeah, string beans. So this is what the flower looks like when it turns into an actual veg, right? And meant to be really good with stir fry, right? Some light vinaigrette, and good to go with that. All right. After the watermelon and the string bean, sunflower, the last thing that we have here is some lettuce. So I planted these a while back from the very beginning, and I've been harvesting like just individual leaves. Today I'm going to be pulling them out because I have some more seedlings. I just started from seed and I want to have some space for that. So these don't seem to be growing any better than they had been previously. So I'm just going to be pulling them out and getting a little harvest. So this is the butter crunch lettuce. I normally would have just simply picked out leaves, but because I want to get rid of the entire plant, see, it hasn't bolted, which tells me that the plant is really happy. It's good here. If you want to know what bolted means, I'll put a link probably up on this side, with the video explaining bolting and why it happens. I'll be just uprooting the entire thing. Now, a little tip, I'm doing this for the video, but ideally if you're harvesting your lettuce, harvest it like early morning or late evening, right? Right now it's going to be good, but it's not going to be as good as if I had harvested it early this morning or late this afternoon, right? A bit more lettuce. This is a bronze head lettuce. Oh, you see no signs of bolting even on this. Let's take it off this. Screw it over here. The idea in a no-dig bed is that you would cut at the stem here and leave the roots inside for the microorganisms to chew on, to chow down on. But I am not doing that today just because I'm holding one hand the camera with the stand and the other hand is doing the work. So not as easy, but it's fine. So this is a regular, what you call this, like a regular lettuce. The name for it is a Batavia lettuce. This jagged edge lettuce, right? And here I think I see another bit of bronze head, which has been used from for quite some time. And we just have a little bit of some leaves on there. So we're just going to be taking that, take off the roots. There you go. Right, so a little bit of lettuce roll salad if I want to. I think I'll also try out one of this string bean here. Oh, yeah, I think I'll try this out. Let me see. It's good, but I feel like it'll be better if it's cooked. It's not like the one that I have over here, and that one I think definitely tastes a lot sweeter raw. This one probably needs to be cooked. It's good. It's just a little bit it's not as sugary, I find, but we'll have this. Okay, so there you go. There is your little second update on the no-till garden bed, the cardboard bed that we all did together or right on the channel, and also a little lettuce harvest. Nothing massive, but I mean, if you want to make a salad, you got it right here. Okay, so remember that if you know somebody who would be interested in growing more healthy organic food for themselves and their family and new interesting ways of gardening right in the backyard or in the front yard, feel free to share this video with them. Remember that if you would like to see more content coming out in Trinidad Gardener's Garden, to feel free to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and feel free to tag us on any of those platforms because we're so happy to see what's happening in your gardens. Remember, as always, this has been Dylan from the Trinidad Gardener channel reminding you to get up and get growing. Take care.